And welcome into Growth Profits. It's Friday in Lynchburg, Tennessee, in the Barrel House. And we're coming to you live to talk about one of the most important conversations we can have. This is a question that you're asking yourself, am I too conservative? Am I too aggressive with my diagnosis, with my solution presentation? We'll talk about it. Stay with us. Hi, folks. I'm Sean Crabtree.
And I'm Cameron Bailey.
We don't want to change the way you do business.
We want to change the way you're thinking about your business.
We want you to have better results, happier clients, and make more money.
Let's get it started.
And welcome back. I'm Sean Crabtree.
I'm Cameron Bailey.
And welcome into Growth Profits, where today we're going to talk about one of the most important conversations that we can talk about. This conversation that you're having with yourself. Am I being too conservative with my solution presentation, with my diagnosis? Am I being too aggressive with my solution presentation? Why is it important that we talk about this? Well, first of all, it's important because Cameron and I have heard this forever. I've been doing this a little over 20 years, and this is a conversation that I have had with many people.
All the time.
All the time. Here is why it's important to you. If you're asking yourself this question, you're missing the very thing that's going to have you maximize your potential with your growth. If you're asking yourself this question, you are absolutely sabotaging your ability to be the best you can be. You're sabotaging your ability to have happier clients, better results, make more money, and enjoying the ride. Because if you're asking yourself this question, you are inserting you into a conversation that you have no business being in. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Conservative versus aggressive.
So what are we talking about? Should I tell how we got started in this? Okay, so as I said before, we've had this brought to us, not by clients that we work with,
Maybe
on the front end.
On the front end. I've talked to a lot of people about this, and not just when you think about conservative versus aggressive, you're really thinking about it's so opinionated, right? What is the opinion? You could almost insert the word opinion in it, right? So you can relate that. You can relate that to any service business, guys. If you're in sales, you're in a service business. If you have a heating and air company, you're a service business. If you're a
CPA, if you're an attorney, if you're a business strategist, if you're a dentist.
If you're like my boy Trevor with Tennessee Wheel and Tire, he sells wheels and tires, but you know what? He's in the service business.
The point is, in a service business, you're not selling products.
You're selling a solution.
And so maybe tires and wheels is a little different scenario. But if you're in a service business,
could be different.
You have to understand that you're presenting. People come to you and I and all of you in the service business. People come to us with problems.
Mm-hmm.
They come to us with opportunities. Our job is to fully examine everything that's going on and present a solution to that problem or a solution to maximize that opportunity. And any service business, if you're asking yourself, was my solution too aggressive? Was my solution too conservative? The thing I want you to take away from this conversation is you do not have enough information to present the solution. Let me say that again. If you present a solution and in your mind you're going, gosh, is that too conservative? Is that too aggressive? Then here's the thing. You're not ready to present the solution because you don't have enough information. The solution should be neither aggressive nor conservative. No. It should be the solution best and only solution.
It should be the solution. If I'm in a position in my mind and I've got to think when I'm dealing with a client or a customer, and I got to think, is what I'm about to say too aggressive or is it too conservative? The challenge I'm running into is I've not asked enough questions to know what's most important to the client. If I know what's most important to the client,
there's only one solution.
There's only one solution because the client's not going to be happy with me if I don't solve their problem.
How many times has somebody come to you as a client, a customer, a patient, and they've just been down the road somewhere and they come to you because they want a second opinion, right? That is a clear indication that the person down the road did not fully examine what's going on. They didn't have enough information to present a solution. So when they presented that solution, the client, the customer, or the patient looked at that solution as their opinion, and they're coming to you to get a second opinion. And you know what? If you don't interrupt that and do a full examination of what's going on, and you simply offer your opinion, they may go somewhere else to get a third opinion. The bottom line is this. You got to change the way you define what is a full examination. Like you can figure out what's going on clinically, tactically, technically. If you're an HVAC company, you can go look at the ducts and all of that sort of thing, and you can make a diagnosis. If you're a dentist, you can look at the mouth and there's a diagnosis. But again, if you're asking yourself, is this diagnosis too conservative or too aggressive, then you don't have enough information. What you need to also include is what's most important to the person who has the heart and the brain that's bringing you this problem or this opportunity. When you know what's going on the heart and the brain of the person that's bringing you this problem and this opportunity, there's only one solution. And that solution is neither too aggressive nor too conservative. It's the right solution.
I use this today. I was talking to a client today. I just got off the phone. And I use this. You can't give them the water until you created the thirst. If the client's not thirsty, they don't want the water. You can tell them how cold it is, how wet it is, how good it's going to taste.
Let's talk about it really.
You got to create the thirst. And in this situation, what we're talking about with conservative or aggressive, the thirst that you're creating is finding out what's the most important thing to the client about the solution. You got to create that thirst. You can't.
So you and I had a situation happen this week.
Yeah, man. This week
we had a brand.
I have situations all day.
We had a brand new.
You want to get in a situation? You call me. I am Mr. Situation.
You situation man.
I'm the problem solver.
We had a challenge with we had an opportunity.
An opportunity.
We had a situation.
Situation. Yeah.
We had a new client who we are in the midst of the onboarding process with. Let's call her Julie. Julie was a client that we were onboarding. This is Julie. Julie, yeah, there you go. Julie was having, this is Julie right here. She was having a situation. And Julie wanted for us to tell her exactly what to do. Situation was, there's somebody on the team who's not following along with direction and so forth and so on. And Julie's saying, do I fire this person? Right out of the chute.
How aggressive do I need to be?
Now, of course, that is a good example of what we're talking about, right? And what I don't want to do in my mind is go, okay, when I tell Julie this, do I need to be conservative and say, well, you could do that? Or do I need to be aggressive and say, cut her loose? No. The answer is, I don't have a solution yet because I don't know what's most important. We're still onboarding Julie. We don't have vision we don't know where Julie wants to be. We don't know how quickly she wants to be there. We don't know exactly where her opportunities and challenges are. We don't know what's most important to her overall. So the answer to that question is not something we can answer, right? The question when Julie says, do I fire this person? Here's the answer to that question. What's most important to you? Where are you trying to be? How quickly do you want to be there?
What is the direction that you're taking?
That's the answer. Now, Julie got pissed.
Yeah.
Can I say pissed?
Yeah. It's America. We can say whatever we want to.
Are
we in America?
Mr. Producer says we are in America with the barrels right behind us.
Barrels. We got Jack Daniels and guns in the room.
In the room. I can't imagine anything more American than that right there.
Apple pie.
Mr. Producer is strapped up back there with the Glock 19. With the Glock 19. Just in case anybody's driving around thinking, hey, we're going to go bust some stuff up.
No, don't come
Mr.
here.
Mr. Producer is packing heat. Chamber? Yep. Absolutely.
Sitting on rock and roll.
He's got a double stack.
Oh.
He's got a double stack with an extra magazine and chamber.
He may not want you telling all his business to the world. Now everybody knows he's strapped up.
He said, Mr. Producer said, you know what? It's
the
America.
whole point of concealed carry is to conceal.
Well, we're not going to invite him in front of the camera and tell him to show his gun.
Strap?
His strap. So anyway, there's no, bottom line is, where are you going with this? There's nothing that can be more American than Jack Daniels and guns. How about that?
Where I'm going with this is,
well, let's get back to Julie.
That's where I was going with Julie.
Let's talk about Julie. Julie got upset with us because what Julie wanted to know is, you tell me what to do. Well, the answer to what to do is based in what's important to Julie, not what I think.
Yeah.
Not what Cameron thinks.
Otherwise, you're giving an opinion.
That's right.
And you know what? Opinions are like elbows. Everybody's got two of them.
Right.
And your opinion may not work with Julie's opinion. My job is not to, if Julie is my customer, my client, my patient, my job is to not tell Julie my opinion. My job is to find out what's most important to Julie. Julie, where do you want to go?
How quickly do you want to be there?
How quickly do you want to get there?
What's the most important thing to you?
What is the culture that you want to have in place in your business? What are your promises? What is the foundation that you want?
What are your priorities?
What is the foundation that you want on your team? And then you make your decision based on that as to, does this person fit the direction that we're going? It's not, hey, do I do this or do I do that? Because then I'm going to give you opinion. And you know what? It may work and it may not. And you're going to blame who? Me, because I took responsibility for giving you an opinion.
Or you're going to be blamed.
Yeah.
Because you're in the service business, and that customer, that client, or that patient is going to see it as your opinion. And because it's not about them, the next question is going to be, what does your opinion cost? How much does that cost? Right?
Can I get it cheaper?
Right. If you're asking yourself, and this is what we're talking about if you're just joining us, is my solution, my diagnosis, too conservative? Is my solution too aggressive? If you're asking yourself that question, here's the takeaway. Throw it out the window and ask a better question. Here's a better question. What is most important to the heart and the mind of the person that has presented this problem or this opportunity? And if you don't have that information, you're not ready to present a solution.
When we come back, listen, when we come back after these messages, when we come back, we're going to talk about what needs to happen. How do you insert those questions when you're in that moment? How do you overcome it? What kind of takeaways can you implement in your business so that your customers, your clients, your patients are not looking at things as conservative, aggressive, or optional? We'll be right back.
Yes, a 98% acceptance rate or better is possible. Yes, you can do it. And yes, it's not as difficult as you think, and I can show you how. I've created a course specifically to cover these topics. It's called the Dental Profits Academy. New patients, existing patients, dormant patients, exactly what to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and how to do it, and what role everybody on your team plays. Intake calls, chairside, financial arrangements, reinstatement calls. It's all there, step by step. It's online, and you can learn it at your leisure. Go to thecrabtreegroup.com and click course for more information. And welcome back. So what we're talking about is you are in the service, in a service business. It doesn't matter if you're HVAC, attorney, CPA. It doesn't matter if you're a business strategist or a dentist. As a person who's in the service business, people bring you problems and opportunities. Your job is to present solutions to those problems and opportunities. If you're asking yourself this question, am I too conservative? Am I too aggressive with the solutions I'm presenting? That's a clear indication that you're putting yourself in the middle, and that's your opinion. Take yourself out of the situation and instead ask a better question. Before you present that solution, find out what's most important to the patient. That's probably the first thing that I'd tell you to do.
How do you do that? Now, how do you do that? You say you want to find out what's most important to the patient. You've got to ask the question.
Or the client or the customer. If you're first of all, you got to understand this conceptually. Because some of you who are listening and watching this have been walking around asking yourself this for a long time, and you've been toiling over, gosh, was that solution I presented too aggressive? Was that too conservative? And it's causing you angst, right? Get over that, right? Realize that is a clue that you don't have enough information, because if you have all the information, there's only one solution, and that solution is neither conservative nor is it aggressive. It's the right solution because it's based on what's most important to the person that you're dealing with. It's based on what's on the heart and the mind of the person whose problem or opportunity you're trying to solve or maximize. So how do you do that? First step, recognize when it pops into your mind, do I need to be aggressive here? Do I need to be conservative here? Stop yourself and ask a question. Recognize that you don't have enough information. You're not ready to present a solution. And ask a question. A great question is, what's most important to you? Now, let's go on off of that for just a second. Let's say that you're an HVAC company, right?
It's hot outside. It's hot
outside.
It's like 95 degrees outside.
The barrels are sweating back there.
Woo!
The ones up at the top, they're closest to the sun.
95 degrees, man, and my AC is broke.
Broken?
No, it's broke.
Okay. If your AC is broken, you don't know what's going on. You just know that the AC does not work. When you call Bailey's HVAC company,
man, we're going to be there on the spot.
And when Bailey's HVAC company, let's say, shows up,
we're like Jimmy John's. We're freaky fast.
They're going to be able to look at your unit. They're going to be able to look at your ducts. They're going to be able to figure out technically where the issue is. Now, the solution that you present could be good, better, best. Could be
expensive,
conservative, all the way to aggressive. If you're ready to present those options, conservative to aggressive, that's a clear indication. All you know is half of the situation. All you know is what's going on technically. Before you present the solution, what you got to do is stop and go, hey,
Mr. Bailey,
I don't have enough information.
Mr. Crabtree, what's most important to you about your heating and air?
And you might do it just like this. Okay, so I can see what's going on in the unit. I can see what's going on in your ducts. Here's my question. What's most important to you when it comes to your HVAC system? Now, if the answer is, what's most important to me is I just want the darn thing to work. I want the confidence to know that when I come in and hit the button, it's working all the time. I don't care about anything else except the confidence that the darn thing works. Then there's a solution for that. If the answer to what's most important to you is,
I want the efficiency. Maybe like if somebody asks me, my electric bill it gets out of control. Okay, my electric bill gets high. I got swimming pool problems. I got electric. I got a bunch of lights. My wife leaves all the lights on. We got HVAC.
Your wife does leave the lights on all the time. Man.
All right, so
every time I drive by your house at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the sun is bright, you know what?
What?
All the floodlights in the whole house are on.
It's like that song. Every light in the house is on. Backyard looks like the crack of dawn. Is that how it goes? Anyway,
that's Trace Atkins.
Anyway,
you cannot do Trace Atkins.
No, I can't.
I've met Trace Atkins, and you, my friend,
I have met Trace Atkins. Trace Atkins is big.
He's bigger than that. He's like this.
He got a ponytail too. Yeah. So, long story
Trace,
short,
we love you, man. I know you're
come be a guest,
friend of the show.
Be a guest on our show.
We love you, man.
So,
if the answer is back to the efficiencies, I got to keep you on track, man.
Efficiency.
If the answer is I want the confidence of knowing that my unit is, from a dollar standpoint, as efficient as it could be, you're going to have a different diagnosis.
This is real for me. This is real. Because I've had the HVAC people come to my house, and I've had them talk to me. And you know what?
What?
Did they ask? In every transaction, you're either the buyer or you're the seller. Okay. Right? And they're talking to a real seller.
Conservative?
What I'm saying is they didn't find out what was most important to me.
Oh, so they gave you a solution.
Yes.
That was basically what you're saying, their opinion.
They probably put a Band-Aid on my situation when really I think if they had found out what was most important to me about my HVAC
it wouldn't have been a Band-Aid. You would have got sewn up.
Yeah, I would have got
sewn up. It would have been sewn up.
Because if they had asked me, you know what I told them?
What?
I said, I'm planning on being in this house for a while.
Right.
Not planning on moving.
Right.
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 My electric bill, I think, in my opinion, is high.
Okay.
And I would like to have a way to keep my house cold as I want it.
Right.
And have my electric bill go down.
At the same time.
And I would probably spend a little bit of money to make that happen.
But because the HVAC person did not
they didn't ask me that question. They just
if they didn't ask you
they saw a small little problem
and they gave you a Band-Aid
and they gave me a $50 Band-Aid. When the fact of the matter is, if they had a solution to really what's most important to me. Because you know what?
Okay, let me
my
ask
air
you
conditioner still works. It works great. But you know what? My bill is still high.
Okay, so let me ask you
How
this.
can I lower my bill?
So
That's what
let's
I
talk
want
about
to know.
this way. What we're talking about here is you are in the service industry, and as a service business, people bring you problems and opportunities. Your job is to fully examine not only what's going on technically, tactically, clinically, but it's also to find out what's most important to the person's heart and mind that's bringing you that problem or that opportunity. And if you don't have that half of the question answered, then you're making a diagnosis that is your opinion. And your opinion is either conservative or aggressive.
And the guy down the street's got his own opinion
All right, so
too.
let me ask you this.
You call your cousin Junior, he's got his own opinion about what you need to do.
In the example that you just gave with HVAC.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a real life that's a real life example.
So who loses in that scenario? You lost.
Everybody loses.
You lost because you didn't get the ultimate solution to what you were looking for.
Exactly.
Who else lost? The service company themselves. They lost.
They lost because they
could have gotten a bigger deal.
They could have got a bigger deal, and they could have had more of a value shown to me. So therefore, I'm a customer for life. Boom. If you solve my problem, I'm going to stick with you.
I'm with you for life.
People love to have their problems solved. When you solve the problem, I will be an advocate for you, but only until you do that.
At the end of the day, if you are in the service business, and
if you're in business,
if you're a CPA, if you're not selling products, you're in a service business. If you're a dentist, you're service. If you're CPA, service. Business strategist, service. Attorney, service, right? As a service business, if you're only analyzing half of the problem and not finding out what's most important to the person that you're dealing with, then you're not ready for a solution. Ask yourself a better question. The question is not, am I too conservative? Am I too aggressive? The question is, what is most important to the person I'm dealing with? Then the solution I present is the solution. There's no options. It's the solution. And it's the right solution. And it's neither conservative nor aggressive. It's the right solution.
3 things you need to do right now. When you're in a moment and you're with a client, a patient, right, a customer, and you are about to make your solution known. You're going to make a diagnosis. You're going to offer the solution to the challenge. Ask yourself right then in that moment, number one,
know what's most important?
Write this down. If you're listening to this, write this down. Do I have all the information I need? Number 1, do I have all the information I need?
And if you do, then there's no options.
If you do,
there's a solution.
Right.
And it's the solution, and it's only one. Second thing.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, I'd like to know what you know. But my second thing is...
Everybody like to know what I know.
All right, step 1, do I have all the information I need to provide the one solution, right? Number 2, if I do not, what do I do?
Ask a question.
What is a great question?
And, well, I would say this. Remember, you're the expert in your service business. You're the expert. If you're not the one asking the questions, then you're not going to be able to help. So you've got to be the one asking the question. A great question would be, what's most important to you, right? You can look and see what's going on clinically. You can look and see what's going on technically. If you're an IT person, you can look and see what's going on tactically. But what you want to know in addition to that is what's most important to you. You want to know long-term, things that are most important to this person, and then you're working your way toward
you can use
solution.
You can use that verbiage in any situation, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a real estate agent. What's most important to you about the relationship that you have with your real estate? That's nice.
That's tight, man.
What's most important to you about the relationship that you have with your real estate agent? That would be a great question to ask.
Right. And so number 1 thing we're talking about here is there's three things. Number 1, recognize that if you're about, like Cameron said, if you're about to present a solution, but you only have half the information,
do I have it on?
You have to stop. You cannot present the solution. Number 2 thing is you need to ask a question. Great question is, it's always going to begin with what's most important to you, right? Mm-hmm. That's a great question. Number 3.
One time, just drop one solution. The number 3 thing is don't overcomplicate it. Don't overtalk it.
Right. If you're given, if you're thinking to yourself, there's still more than one option, then again, you got to go back to number 2 and you got to ask a different question. You got to find out what's most important to the patient. The bottom line is this. In your service business, you cannot put yourself in the middle of the solution. It's not even about you. Doctor, get yourself out of this. It's not about you, okay? Auto mechanic, it's not about you. Get yourself out of this. HVAC professional, it's not about you. Attorney, it's not about you. It's about the person who has the heart and the mind that's bringing you this problem or this opportunity. And while you can look under the hood or look in the ducts or whatever and find out what's going on, if you don't know what's most important to the heart and the mind, you're not ready for a solution. And that, at the end of the day, is not only going to get you happier clients, it's going to get you better results. You're going to make more money, and I can promise you, without the angst of agonizing over whether this is a conservative or aggressive, I can promise you, you're going to enjoy the ride. And at the end of the day, that's why we come to you every Friday, just outside Nashville or Lynchburg, Tennessee.
All the folks down in Lynchburg, Tennessee. You heard that song? That new one?
I got to be honest with you, man. The way you sing it, I don't think I've ever heard that song.
We might put that song. They might not let us though, but we might put that song in the ending here, just for my people down in Lynchburg.
You ready for me to wrap this up, man?
I want to say something before we wrap it up.
Do you want to sing or anything before we
wrap it up? Listen, if you're out there listening, can you see me? Can you? Okay. If you're out there and you're listening to this, you're watching this, and you're struggling with figuring out how to create value, if you're struggling with figuring out how to find out what's most important to your patients, to your clients, give us a call. We can help. We have systems that
We've
are
got
repeatable.
Courses. We've got online systems. We've got processes. You can reach out to us. Find us at thecrabtreegroup.com. Everything that we have is somewhere on that site, thecrabtreegroup.com, or send us an email at admin@thecrabtreegroup.com. We're happy to help. Thanks for joining us this week. This is the show that's all about you having happier clients, better results, making more money,
and having fun, man.
And enjoying the ride. We'll see you next week.
See ya.